Okay, third grade, we're about to go back to your drawing of your agate slice. Now, my drawing was based pretty much, not exactly, on an agate slice I see right here. I gave you 3 images. You're going to choose one of the agate slices to use as a color reference. So if you look at my agate right here, you're going to notice there's a lot of pinks, there's some purples, some whites, even sort of a pinky red in there. So ideally, if you can, I would recommend you use color pencils. So what I did was I went through all my color pencils and I found any color that reminded me of some of the colors I see in the agate slice. I want to make sure your pencils are nice and sharp. If you can't, if you don't have that, if you at least had a few markers, and then maybe, I don't have one right here in front of me, a purple marker. And even if you mixed it with a different kind of a marker, like a thin pen marker, like I have these Papermate Ink Joy gel pens, so I could actually do that if I had to. Crayons wouldn't be bad, but really not ideal, so I'm recommending you try color pencil or marker. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to begin to block in some of the color. Now the key with using color pencils in particular, after you've picked the colors you need within the range of your agate slice, is to build color by putting light layers down. When I say a light layer, I mean you're putting very, very little pressure on top of your pencil. If you put a lot of pressure, you're going to get a very dark color or a dark value of that color. That's fine, but what's beautiful about color pencils, much like oil pastels, is they blend beautifully if you layer them. So I'm encouraging you to try layering your color pencils almost in the same way that you might layer your oil pastels. So I'm just starting with a very, very pale pink to represent the center of my agate. I would say honestly it's a little darker than that, so I can now go in, and near the edges it's going to be darker. So I'm going to go in with a slightly different pink and start to layer that on top, but I'm not going to go everywhere because I don't really think that it is dark everywhere. I think it's dark in some places, but not everywhere. So I'm going to try to layer the pink here, but in a way that builds up color slowly. Notice that you can do back and forth marks, or you can switch to almost a scribbly type of mark, which is what I'm doing right now, where you turn your pencil in circular marks to build up color like this. And again, I'm focusing on the edges here because I feel like that's where it's going to start to get darker as it moves into another color. So I'm using this as my color guide, even though it's a little bit different. There's actually some kind of veining going on in the center of this. So I'm going to add a little darker color there, and I'll come back and I'll punch it up later. But I'm just going to add a little bit of color for now to show you how I do that. Now, if we go to the next color, that indeed is a very dark, bright color. But again, I'm going to start with, and this will be this ring right here. I'll put it down a little heavier than I did in the first ring, but I'm not going to put extreme pressure on there yet, because again, the idea here is that we're going to fill it in lightly and build up color. So what I'd like you to do is to fill in that shape like I'm doing here. Again, medium pressure on the pencil. And then what I'm going to do to get that really intense sort of magenta color is I'm going to go on top of this. And notice how I'm treating this as one shape. I'm not trying to do multiple rings at a time. I think it's important to really value your time in your drawing and spend the time you need to get your best work. So once I get that pink blocked in, I'm going to go for this color and really start building it up. But I don't think that's the only color I'm going to use. I'm going to use this first. And then I will probably, and I might even go back here and add a little bit of that feeling of veining here. Little specks that come out of the center of the agate right here. Over here, I'm going to go a little heavier, and then I'm going to add another color. And I want you to work one ring at a time. Now again, that wouldn't be the final color on there. I might actually like to put this purpley color to really make it feel bold and like it's more in that magenta range. And you see how this is beginning to pop away from the center color? This is how I want you to proceed with your agate slice. I really want to see careful color blending, layering of colors, taking your time. This is only an 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper. And I look forward to seeing your finished drawings. Again, just the agate slice. Do not worry about the background later on. Have fun, and remember to share a copy of your work with me when you're finished. Bye.